Let loose! Let's go!
Since it doesn't seem like we're gonna have much duck and goose activity this morning, figured I might as well talk to you guys a little bit about something related to ducks that I've been thinking about a lot lately. Some of you guys have watched a previous video I made the other week. You know that Samson Puddleduck wasn't doing too good, and recently I made the decision to put him down. Honestly, it wasn't that tough a call for me to make. You know, after I made that video talking about his health, I could really see that he was failing health-wise, and he was just not happy and not comfortable, and so to alleviate his suffering, I ended up butchering him a couple of days ago. He was a great duck, he was a gentle duck, but he was also a genetically freakish duck, and I really do think that that contributed and led to his demise. You see, Samson Puddleduck, much like his father Samuel Puddleduck, was a giant Pekin duck, and genetically speaking, those are ducks that were bred to put on weight very quickly, get large very quickly, and be butchered and used for meat. And meanwhile, I'd kept him around for about 2 years, and he just got too big for his own body, and that's really what led to the demise. Those giant Pekin ducks aren't designed to live long, and Samson didn't live long. Samson's mother, Jemima Puddleduck, is still around, and she's still doing okay. But I will admit I'm a bit bummed about the demise of Samson. I'll also say that Samson's death has also got me reflecting a lot on the general practices used to breed ducks, and some of those ducks that are out there that are really showy and flashy, who also have some horrible health problems. You know, a couple weeks back, a viewer sent me a video of her crested duck, and it was acting all funky. And for those of you guys who aren't familiar, crested ducks are these ducks that have a genetic mutation which actually creates this hole in the back of their head, which leads to that fluffy hairdo that they seem to have. And admittedly, that crested duck hairdo is absolutely adorable, but the problem is those crested ducks have a lot of neurological problems. And in fact, as I was asking around to folks I know who are duck experts and showed them the video of that crested duck, a lot of them said that they were thinking that it was some sort of neurological issue that that duck was facing that was making it do that weird walk. You know, just because ducks look adorable, it doesn't mean that those ducks are gonna be healthy. Call ducks, if you guys aren't familiar, are those tiny little ducks. They're like if you took a regular duck and hit it with a shrink ray.
We're all the size of boogers!
And while I don't have any call ducks here on our farm, my friend Chrissy over at the Dunkin' Ducks, she actually has a bunch of call ducks and she knows a lot about them too. And she and I were texting back and forth the other day about duck health problems, and some of the points that she made about call ducks made me want to share it with you guys.
Hey guys, Chrissy from the Dunkin' Ducks here to talk a little bit about call duck health problems. So call ducks are specifically bred to be super tiny, and being so tiny is what wins them shows. However, the call ducks that are just a little bit bigger tend to actually have less health problems. The first reason for this is because the super tiny ones also have super tiny nostrils, and that tends to give them difficulty breathing when they get even the slightest particle of dirt or food stuck in their nostril. The second reason is because female call ducks tend to have a harder time laying eggs because they simply can't fit the egg out of their tiny little body. And the third reason being that super tiny call ducks tend to have problems sleeping and being comfortable because they can't reach their neck underneath their wing because it is so short. In order to sleep comfortably, that's how ducks sleep, is with their head tucked right under their wing, but super tiny call ducks can't do that. They also do come in a crested variety, which I'm sure Morgan has already mentioned is a major health concern for ducks. And finally, if you are looking to get a call duck, I would recommend trying to find one that's just a little bit bigger so they don't have these crazy health problems that the small ones do.
And by the way, Chrissy's got a great YouTube channel all about ducks. I'll leave a link down below and you can check it out. And be sure to tell her that Toby Dog said hi. But I guess the point that I'm driving towards in this whole spiel is that as I think about breeding ducks here on my farm, I know I need to be more careful than I've been in the past. And in particular, I need to start focusing how I breed the Quacken of the future and what genetics I bring into the mix here. And when I think about a duck like Samson, I realize that he was never the right type of duck for the type of farming we do here at Goldshaw Farm. I want to focus on animals that are healthy, animals that are hardy and suited for the climate that we have here. And goofy traits like trying to raise a horse-sized duck just aren't all that healthy and good for the animal, and really aren't the right thing to do. So preaching time's over. Let's see if the ducks have warmed up. So as a lot of you guys know, I've been dealing with a little bit of a rodent problem here in the poultry area. What's been happening is the ducks and geese and chickens are spilling their feed, and mice and voles are starting to show up and eat it. So I've been starting to trap to see if I can reduce the population. Ooh, and there we go. Would you look at that?
Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see. Mousetrap from Milton Bradley.
What the heck happened here?
We got no food, we got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off!
Is that a vole or a mole? I can't even quite tell because it's so damaged. But definitely got one. And it sort of looks like the trap snapped it in half, but there we go. I'll have to feed this to the chickens. Rise and shine, chickens. Go guys, eat up. This one didn't fire off. Like if I happen to have my trusty pocket field track guide identifier, you'd see that that's exactly what vole tracks look like, even down to the little tail marks that they have. Looks like everybody wants to hang in the nice warm goose shed today. Admittedly, on a day like today, I don't blame them at all. We're actually due for a cold stretch over the next couple of weeks, and hey, that's what winter is here in Vermont. How you doing, old Jemima? You're doing pretty good. You're hanging in there. You know, I think you can screw things up on a farm in two ways. You can screw things up on your farm by being ignorant, and you can screw things up on your farm by not listening to your conscience. When it comes to the sad story of Samson Puddleduck here on our farm, I'm willing to chalk that up to ignorance. You know, I bred those two big ducks, Samuel and Jemima Puddleduck, and they produced that massive offspring, Samson. And really, since day one, when he came here to our farm and he had all his fuzz picked off and he kind of looked like Batman, I had him pegged as a duck that was going to be one that lasted a very long time, and I might even use for breeding as a drake. But if I had known better, I would have seen how awful an idea it was, and I wouldn't have grown attached to him, and I would have just harvested him that fall as part of my regular drake harvest. But now going forward, I know I need to listen to my conscience because I now know better. And I know that doing something like that isn't right. And so I don't plan to raise up many more Pekin ducks here on our farm. And I'm going to be focusing on birds that are meant to live longer, healthier lives, that are meant to be egg layers, and that are meant to exist in the farming system that we're setting up here at Goldshaw Farm. So this has definitely been another hard lesson to learn here on our farm. If you're curious about other hard lessons I've had to learn on my path to trying to become a farmer, Be sure to check out this playlist over here. I pulled together some videos where I've screwed up royally. Hopefully you guys can learn a thing or two without having to screw up like I have.